Good afternoon. This reorganization meeting is called to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to start by welcoming everyone from the community who's here in attendance today. The first order of business is to elect our board president. I will now open the floor to nominations for the board, the president of the Board of Education.
I'd like to nominate Julia Freed.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that nomination.
Are there any further nominations for the position of board president? I will now close the floor to nominations. We have one nomination for the position of board president. All in favor? Those opposed? So moved. 3-0. We now move on to the position of Vice President of the Board of Education. I'd like to open the floor for nominations to the for the Vice President of the Board of Education.
I'd like to nominate James Tomio.
Is there a second to that nomination?
Second myself.
Are there any further nominations? The floor is now closed. All in favor for Mr. Tomio for Vice President? The vote is 3-0. Congratulations. I'll now administer the oath of office to Mr. Tomio.
I swear
That I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and the Constitution of the State of New York,
and that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of
the duties of the office of
Vice President of the Board of Education,
Vice President of the Board of Education,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
And now Mr. Tomio's Vice President will assume as chairperson for the remainder of the meeting.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to make a motion to take the reorganizational agenda in its entirety as a consented agenda. Do I have motion? Second? All those in favor? Need a motion to adjourn the reorganizational meeting? Second? Any discussions? Questions or comments? All in favor? Good. Okay. The Please call the motion to open the business portion of the agenda. No motion. Ms. Malino, second by Ms. Weiss. Questions or comments? All in favor? Can I get a motion for the approval of minutes of the previous business meetings? Business meeting June 15th, 2017, and the special meeting June 29th, 2017. I have a motion. Motion by Mrs. Weiss, second by Mrs. Mamalito. Questions or comments? All in favor? Okay. Second. There's no accommodations this evening, and if Mrs. Weiss would like to do the board recognition of donations. MC, please.
It's on the same, in the same package of your attendance.
It's in this one?
It's just the third page or so.
Has it changed from the book at all?
No. MC.
Oh, there it is, board recognition. Okay, tonight, today, this afternoon, welcome everybody. The board would like to recognize the following donations. The first donation is of 4 wireless weather stations by 2 former students, Eva Murley and Nicolette Carlucci, in honor of the late Mr. Adamo, and I believe they sold bracelets that had the slogan, what was Mr. Adamo's slogan again? It was rainbows. I have it. But I'll read to you. They sold bands, and they raised $250, and with that amount of money, they bought the 4 wireless weather stations. The bands were in the motto that Mr. Adamo always told the kids, basically, so to reach the rainbow for their dreams. So we thought that was really lovely that we did that. The second donation is $46.75 toward the Barbara Quigley Memorial Fund. Mrs. Quigley was a kindergarten teacher who died last year, and this is money that will go to her scholarship fund. The third donation was from the Elwood Middle School PTA for the amount of $1,800 to fund the purchase of picnic tables for the outdoor areas at the Elwood Middle School, and I believe that's in the area where they eat lunch. Am I correct in that? Mm-hmm. So thank you to the PTA for that. And finally, from the John Glenn High School senior class, a donation of 3 picnic tables, 2 placed in the cafeteria courtyard, which is between the cafeteria when you walk into the main lobby and the administration office, for 3 picnic tables. So we thank the class of 2017 for that donation.
Thank you, Ms. Weiss. Dr. Bosser?
Interesting. My report this evening is I hope everyone is having a wonderful summer. We are certainly off to a busy start here within the district. There is very limited time that we have to take full advantage of the classrooms being empty. So we have a good deal of work going on to complete our smartphone projects, telephones and security cameras and things of that nature, and a lot of work taking place within all the buildings to make sure that our facilities are ready for the return of students. We also had some late-breaking news just prior to the meeting that a $50,000 award that Senator Marcelino had granted to us some time ago was just received and will be able to use for improvements to the middle school auditorium. So that's been a long time coming, and thank you to the diligence of the business office for having those funds received by the district.
Thank you, Dr. Wasser. This time, we go to residents' remarks. The board encourages all residents to attend its meetings, and this section of the agenda affords them the opportunity to speak. Persons wishing to speak should identify themselves and any organization they represent at the meeting. Comments should relate to school matters, and they should be kept as brief as possible and may not exceed 3 minutes. Board Policy 2351. Public discussion of matters related to staff, students, or others at which their reputations, privacy, or right to due process could be in some way violated is prohibited. This time, open the floor to residents' remarks. Mr. Mayor, nothing? Okay, see none, thank you. Thank you for coming out today. We have no presentations, and there are no discussion items on the agenda for today, so I move to financial matters. Financial matters. Going to take this financial matters in its entirety. I recommend the board accept the following reports from the internal auditors. A, the budget transfers. B, journal entries. C, bank reconciliations and treasurer's report. D, internal controls of the food service cycle. And to recommend the board approve the budget transfers. I have a motion. Motion by Mr. Mamalito, second by Mrs. Weiss. Questions or comments? See none. All in favor? Move attack. Okay. Is that okay if we take the action items and consent from 1 through 8?
Huh?
Good. What we usually do? Okay. I got a motion to take action items 1 through 8 in consent. Motion by Ms. Mamalito, second by Mrs. Weiss. Questions or comments? See none, all in favor? 3-0. Thank you. Items not listed on the agenda. There is none. Communications, there is none. We'll reopen the floor to residents' remarks. I will, good, see none. I get a motion to adjourn. Motion by Ms. Mamalito, second by Ms. Weiss. Questions or comments? See none. That is our reorganizational meeting. Thank you, folks.
Don't cut the camera. For all those individuals watching the meeting on live stream, due to their names appearing on the personnel agenda, congratulations and welcome to the Elwood School District. Have a great afternoon.
And this part of the-